Hello everyone, this is PCHardware, my new video. I'm going to be doing a time-lapse tutorial how to replace and reapply the thermal paste on a GPU today. So let's get started. I'll just undo, I haven't got a tripod or anything yet, so I will be getting one soon. So this is my new channel, and it's going to be about this sort of thing with just computers. So put up the side, put it down there, and here we have my PC. So if you look in my channel about, you can see the specs. So I've listed them all in there. I know it needs a bit of a clean. You can tell with this. I know it needs a bit of a clean, but I'll do that in a later video. But today I'm just going to be showing you how to reapply thermal paste on this 650 Ti, or it's the same sort of thing for every graphics card. So let's get to it. So first of all, you're going to want to keep on your PC for about 10-15 minutes just to let the thermal paste warm up on your GPU, so it isn't such a struggle getting it off. So I've just had it on. I've had it on all morning, so it's going to be okay. This card doesn't get too hot. It's got quite a good cooler. So I'll turn it off now. Let's turn it off. Shut down, so I don't get electrocuted or fry any parts. There we go. So it's just shutting down, and when it's done, we'll go along from there. Okay, now it's been turned off. I've left it for about a minute just to let the capacitors discharge in the power supply. So I'm just going to touch that once this plugged in, just to ground myself. So, and I've got the radiator down here, going that way. So I'll just touch my foot on there every now and then. I haven't got socks on, so I won't be creating much static electricity, but I'll keep grounding myself anyway. That's important because otherwise you can fry your components. So let's get going. Okay, so I've just removed the screws from the back plate. There they are. I'm going to keep them safe up on my shelf. Okay, so here's my graphics card. That's the bottom. It's a bit clogged up with rabbit fur and just generally dust. Rubbish. So I'm going to clean that out as well, but you'll see that. So you're going to want to, just to warn you, if you do this, it's going to avoid your warranty. So this sticker is your warranty. You don't want to take that off if you want to keep it, just because if anything goes wrong, you won't be able to send it back. So an important thing is that you unplug the fan header, because otherwise you don't want to break it. And don't pull it off by the wire either, because that might break it as well. That's the last thing you want. I'm going to do mine after because it hasn't got a lot of room, but just try, if you can, try and do it before you take off the heatsink. So next we're going to take off these screws. Can you see them? Here, 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 and here. They're all Phillips, which is the cross if you didn't know. There it is. I think this one's too big. This one's too big, so I'm going to go and try another one. Only do about a quarter of a wrist turn at a time. And opposites. Okay, so now I've got those screws nice and safe. They might have little springs underneath to keep them secure, but just keep them on there the way they are around, because they are a bit different on each side sometimes. And next thing you want to do is just wiggle it around if it doesn't come off, but it appears mine came off. You don't want to force it in any way, because it could damage it. So here's my chip. The chip is right here. So we're going to want to wipe off that paste and repaste it. But first of all, I'm going to give it a bit of a clean because it's a bit dusty. So now it's time to clean the heatsink. So I'll remove the paste first just to make sure it doesn't go everywhere. I'll use a bit of a Casa TIM clean. On a microfiber cloth. So it won't leave many bits, if any. But before we do that, scrape it off with a little old credit card or something like this, quite rigid. So as you can see, this is all quite hard. So just put it on a bit of tissue, toilet paper, like I've just done. You get the most off that you can. And now next, use the microfiber cloth and just give it a really, really good clean so it's shiny. Try not to leave any smears. And the cleaner will evaporate. Use a clean part of the cloth and just go over it again. Really cold on my hand where I've been using it so much. It's now fizzing. You can see it's starting to ice up on the outside. Now that's done, I'm going to go to vacuum it out to get all the rest of the rabbit fur out and the dust. I recommend this just because it makes sure it's doubly clean and it'll improve the performance quite a lot. So I've just vacuumed it out and it's clean as I can get it. I can barely see any rabbit fur in there. There's one though. and the dust's definitely gone. So let's get going. Next, you're going to want to scrape off and do the same things you did on the heatsink with this mud chip. It's gone really, really crusty. So next up, you're going to want to get some good thermal compound. I'm using Arctic MX2, which I bought in a shop for, I can't really advertise, for £6. What you want to do is just get a little tiny bit, put a little bit in the middle. Less is more. That's more than enough. I've probably been put a bit too much on there. Make sure you don't get it all over you, because that'll go everywhere and it'll sting. So next of all, you're going to want to locate the holes very, very carefully. Work from the back forward, I guess. And you'll feel the thermal paste spread. So that's okay. I'll just spread it over a bit, just to get the whole dye of it. Which means I'll need a little tiny bit more. So what I'll do now is just place it on, make it spread wherever it'll go, and make sure I haven't got too much or too little. Okay, so that looks okay. I just need to wipe it up from around the edges. So there you go. Remember, make sure your heatsink is on the right way. Otherwise you'll need to do it all over again. So carefully flip it over. Put it down. So go down on each one until it just get a little bit of resistance. And do the opposite one, do the same. So you got a little bit of resistance there. There. And do them up just a wee little tiny bit. Opposites. And double check. Okay. So now just plug your fan header back in. Okay, so now your fan header's in, the CPU heat sinks, your GPU heat sinks on, sorry, and they're nice and tight. Not nice and tight, you just want them hand tight. You don't want them too tight because it could damage it. Just make sure there's nothing that shouldn't be on the bottom. Make sure there's no dust or fur or anything. Which I can't see is very obvious. There's one there. I don't know if you can see that. So now we're going to put that back in the computer. Okay, so make sure it's plugged in everywhere and it's all secure. Make sure this little latch here is clipped on. Make sure it's pushed in properly and screwed in. So now we can connect. Okay, so before we put on the side panel, we're going to test it all works. So we're going to turn on the screen. And we're going to turn it on. So the fan's spinning. And we've got picture. So it's all working. I'll just keep it running for a bit. I'll look at the temperatures and I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so the system's been running for a good 20 minutes and we can see that at about 19% load right there. It is 26 degrees Celsius and this is idle, so this yesterday when I didn't do it would have been about 30 32, 33, so we can see an improvement already. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it and helped. I'll see you on my next one. Adios.